Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. So, I've been watching some clips that people send to me, various crimes that are taking place in South Africa. And as we all know, or as you should know, if you're not from South Africa, shit's getting pretty violent over there. Between the looting of the trucks and blah blah blah. But one of the things that stuck out, I wanted to mention, and this applies to everybody, no matter where you're at. But there was I don't know if I posted the clip, but there was a story just a couple days ago. There was a farm attack, and if I remember it accurately, it was an older guy and his wife were on their farm, and some guy comes up and he's asking for somebody, and they tell him, hey, he lives on the next property over. They look out and they notice that he's not going that way, he's going the other way, and I think it's nighttime. So the husband, the older dude, he goes outside to go see what's going on with this guy. They didn't feel right, and the dude, of course, pulls out a gun, and the gun misfires, and they struggle over the gun, and the old guy got all scratched up, and the dude pulls the gun away, the bad guy, and he tries to shoot this old white farmer multiple times, and his weapon is all fucked up and it just doesn't fire, so he ended up leaving. You probably already know what I'm going to say. If you have somebody or something suspicious going on outside, especially if you happen to be a farmer in South Africa, but no matter where you are, if there's enough of a concern that you need to go out and see what's going on, you got to expect the worst. You got to always expect the worst so you're not caught off guard. I mean, the way things are over there with these gun laws and everything, I don't know that I would have gone out anyways. But if I did, I would have had a weapon, and I would have had obviously this guy's, maybe he's too old, but I don't think you're ever too old to learn and to practice, gun takeaways and things like that. Would have been nice to take the weapon away and beat that fucker to death. But, it's like when I was a cop with LAPD, I used to teach my young guys when I was a training officer. You always expect that everybody is going to try to kill you. And I mean, this will apply to people living in areas that are rough. I use this all the time. I mean, some people would call it paranoia, but when you've been doing it a long enough time, it becomes second nature. So let's say we're on a traffic stop and a guy's got he didn't stop for a stop sign. Even if let's just say it's a lady, many cops have been killed by women. It doesn't matter who it is. You approach it in your mind as if they are going to try and ambush you or surprise you or come up and try to take your life. And the reason you do that is so that you're not so far behind the curve, because you're always behind the curve of reaction. You got to react to somebody's movements or to somebody's intentions. They know what they're going to do. You don't. The guy knocking on your door, or the UPS guy delivering some shit, or the dude that came over to fix your faucet, if they're going to do harm to you, they already know it. So you're already behind the curve in terms of reaction. You're going to have to catch up. So just always assume in your head that everybody's going to try and kill you. And if they don't, that's great. Now the trick was, and this is the trick that, for cops, I mean, and I use it all the time here, is you don't let people know that's what you think. I could walk up to you and say, hey, good evening. Do you have any idea why I stopped you? And the whole time I'm ready I got already 15 different ways that I could take your life in less than 2 seconds. And that's if I'm really slow. But I smile, I'm talking polite. I don't let people know that I'm thinking that. That way, if they're just a person that ran a stop sign, or they're just a guy delivering something, or they're just a guy looking for the neighbor, it's a good contact, They don't realize that you already had their fucking eulogy written. So it takes practice, but you don't want to ever assume that what you see, that's why when I got these little these little bands here, the yellow and black band with my YouTube channel. It says on the back there, you can't see it, but it says assume nothing. Assume nothing. That's just a reminder to myself. And it's what I live by. I don't assume anything. I don't assume that the person I'm stopping when I was a cop is just a guy that ran a red light or a stop sign. For all I know, he's driving like that because he just robbed a bank, or maybe she's got a dead body in the trunk. You just don't know. So maybe the guy that's knocking on the door is really lost. Maybe he's planning on coming in and murdering you. Maybe he's got a gun he's going to pull out. You know, if you've already considered all these options and you're planning for it, it's not going to be a surprise. You're going to react to whatever training I hope you have. You know, if somebody puts a gun anywhere near me where I can reach it, I promise you that I can take that gun from them. Whether it's behind me, if I can reach it, I'll take it before they can pull the trigger. And that's just confidence. And it comes with training and practice and mindset. That's the number one thing. So that'll be today's lesson for you. I love you guys all, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. So remember those words. Assume nothing. What you see is not always what you get. You know, see a little dog wagging his tail, comes up, you reach out to pet him, and he fucking rips 5 of your fingers off. You know, that's just the way the world is, man. And people that assume things are kind of walking around like victims. There's no shortage of victims on the planet. And most of the time it comes from what's in their head or what's not in their head and what's in their heart. So they got to think right, meaning you guys have to think right, and you have to have the willingness in your heart to go kinetic, to go violent, to go jihad on somebody if that's what they need. It's not a pretty conversation. It's not a pretty way to have to live, but we can live in denial or we can live in the real world. And it doesn't affect my happiness. I'm making this video right now, and I've got my sunglasses on so you can't see, but I'm checking all 3 mirrors throughout this whole video, just as a habit. I know who's coming up on me, what cars are coming by. It's just situational awareness, and it's about staying alive. And I'll leave it with this, and it's, you know, this is not like a sad or a morbid thing. It's not intended to be. I am not afraid to die at all. I've said this before. I have no desire to die, but I've been all over the world. I've done a lot of things. I've lived longer than many. I want to live a long time, but my biggest fear, if I had one, about dying is I don't ever want to die because some cocksucker decides that I'm done living. That's whether it's an ego thing or what, you know, I'll die when God takes me or whatever, but I am not going to kneel down on my knees unless somebody take my life or have some young punk get the drop on me because I was too busy paying attention to my cell phone and I didn't see the fucking guy walking up on me. You know? So just something to think about, you guys. You know, when shit happens, it's not like the movies. It happens quick and it happens fast and it's ugly. And it should be over in a matter of seconds, and you should be the guy standing over the person. So stay safe, stay alert, stay alive, and assume nothing. LMS Tactical, I'm out.